Some interesting news. It looks like New York Presbyterian just had a $750 million settlement and minimum wage requirements being rescinded. So now going from the $17 or so that the minimum wage was, now it's back down to the $13.30 minimum wage. It's so unfortunate what is happening. We had a pitch competition during our Health and Wealth Expo. And guess what? Our first place winner won money towards his business that he can use towards resources, equipment, supplies. People walked away feeling so inspired. One of the attendees, she came for one day, right? She had a 1 day pass and she's walked away wanting to now start an IV hydration business. I had another person who had a 1 day pass and she goes, I'm coming back. She is so funny. You're talking about AI tomorrow. You're talking about real estate. I work in real estate. She said, you're going to be talking about marketing. She said, I can't miss this. I'm going to have someone pick up my son. I'm going to actually share that video recording with you. It was dynamic.
Welcome to Nurses with Voices. I'm Dr. Lindra, your host and fellow nurse who's traded in burnout for breakthroughs. I'm here to show you how to transform your nursing career into one filled with purpose, reduced stress, and incredible opportunities. Whether you're looking to start your own business, build generational wealth, or simply find a healthier role in nursing, this podcast is for you. Join me to explore practical strategies to overcome burnout, combat bias, and chart new paths in nursing. It's time to reclaim your voice and reimagine your future in healthcare. Let's get started.
Welcome back to another episode of Nurses with Voices. I'm Dr. Lindra. Some interesting news. It looks like New York Presbyterian just had a $750 million settlement. And I'll read it to you right from the news article. New York State Nursing Association slams New York Presbyterian's announcement of sweeping staffing cuts. NYSNA members throughout the New York Presbyterian health system were alarmed to hear in a video town hall on Monday, May 5th, about a sweeping 2% staffing cut across the hospital system. The announcement was made on the same day the news broke about the hospital's $750 million settlement for survivors of Dr. Hayden's sexual abuse. Now, allegedly, there was a UIN physician who works for the organization, who works for the hospital, and he was apparently sexually abusing his clients. And the hospital had to pay a $750 million lawsuit or settlement. Now, who ultimately pays for this? The employees. Who ultimately pays for this? The community. So now hospital workers are going to work short-staffed because of this lawsuit that the hospital had to pay for. And ultimately, the healthcare workers are going to have to pay for this. And then ultimately, the community, the healthcare workers are going to suffer because now they're going to be working short-staffed because they have to cut healthcare workers. Now, from what I was told by a friend of mine who actually works for the system, it sounds like they're not going to cut nurses, they're going to cut NAs. But from this article, it sounds like they're cutting nurses. Now, a lot of times NAs, nursing assistants, are grouped in with nurses, and they should be, right? Because they are essential workers as well. My understanding that they're going to cut non-essential workers and not nurses, but this article says otherwise, and New York State Nursing Association slamming New York Presbyterian speaks volumes. And from what this says, the announced 2% across the board cuts means more than 1,000 healthcare workers will lose their jobs. And it's just so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that this is happening. It's so unfortunate that the community has been affected this way. And my heart really goes out to the families that have been affected by this unfortunate incident and the families that are going to be affected by this unfortunate incident. Also the healthcare workers who are going to lose their job. And it doesn't help that this also comes at a time where the Trump administration just rescinded the minimum wage benefit. And let's talk about that a little bit. Now, an article from Truth Out talks about how Trump quietly took away a living wage from thousands of federal workers. Companies can now illegally pay federal contractors less than the current minimum wage and face no consequences. I guess my question is, what's happening in this country? We have physicians molesting their clients. We have minimum wage requirements being rescinded. So now going from the $17 or so that the minimum wage was, now it's back down to the $13.30 minimum wage. It's so unfortunate what is happening. And this actually really segues into my discussion about the Health and Wealth Expo, right? Because, and you see, I get excited about that because these are the type of things that when you have your own business and when you have your own means of living wage, you don't have to worry about these things, right? You don't have to worry about your job loss. If you work and you work per diem, you're working because you know what? This is my purpose. This is what I like doing. This is what I love doing, but you don't have to do that. If this administration is showing you nothing else, is showing you that this is the time to start a business. And these are the type of things that we talked about at the Health and Wealth Expo Live Summit that took place this past week on May 15th and 16th. When I tell you the energy in that room was absolutely amazing, it was amazing. People walked away wanting to start IV hydration businesses. They walked away so inspired, so empowered, and they're ready to take action. And that's what it's about. It's about helping you to take action and realizing that you don't have to stay in environments where you're going to be burned out. Burnout is in every industry right now, right? So I empower high achieving nurses to break free from burnout and build financial independence by starting to build legacies. And I do that through courses, mentorship, and events like the Health and Wealth Expo. And when you talk about the people who we had speaking and pouring into the attendees, we had Justin Grant and one of my NASDAQ mentees actually broke it down beautifully on LinkedIn. And so much so I summarized what she said in my LinkedIn newsletter today because I'm saying she really broke it down beautifully. So shout out to you, Nicole. She really broke it down beautifully. It's from Justin Grant giving strategies on how to live, and how to live without burnout, right? And to Dr. Danielle McCamey sharing her journey and empowering you to live a happy life, not to allow any biases or not to allow anyone who won't allow you to have a seat at their table. Guess what? Create your own table. That's what you do. You create your own table. Don't wait to have a seat at someone else's table. Don't wait. We keep going to school. We keep getting another certification and another degree. And we keep waiting for someone to accept us. It's time to accept yourself. And that's what you do when you choose you. Now, am I saying that it's easy to start a business? I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that you're not going to have ups and downs. No one's saying quit your day job. What I am saying is this is the time to take the opportunity to really start to look at what do you offer? If you feel that no one is really valuing your expertise and what you have to offer, start a consulting business. What is it that you do and you do well and people are always coming to you and asking you for advice? What is it? It could be something small to you and big to someone else. It could be you sharing how you got through nursing school. I was speaking with a good friend of mine and she has done a phenomenal job with her son. And I was telling her, I said, people want to know how you've done this as a single parent. So it could be you as a single mom sharing your expertise, how you raised your son, how you raised a male, right? In this day and age, and you got him, he's on the honor society. You have him in one of the best HBCUs. People want to know these type of things. And I mean, I know I'm going off track, going off topic from nursing and healthcare, but the point I'm trying to make is you be surprised how you can help someone else with an expertise that you have. And you don't even realize that it's an expert, you don't even realize that it's an expertise that you have because everyone can't do it. And sometimes the things that come so natural for us, we feel like everyone knows this. And that's not the case at all. everyone doesn't necessarily know it. So if you know something and if you have an expertise, even if you may not think it's an expertise, run it by a couple people. See if they'll pay for it. See if they would consult with you or if they know someone who you can help. If someone is constantly calling you and asking you your advice about a certain topic, that's your business. That's your consulting service. Be mindful of these things. And we had Jamila Powell. She completely simplified the business plan process. And people don't realize your business plan, that's your opportunity for grant funding, right? Like that's what you use when you fill out a grant for I don't know, Amazon grant, right? Or whatever kind of grant you fill out. You're basically using your business plan to do that. And this is how you win funding towards your business. I've had some of my mentees say like, oh, well, there's no funding out there. Don't believe that. There's no funding. Yes, there is. There is funding. And my pitch competition winner will tell you just that. You can win funding from pitches, from pitch competition. We had a pitch competition during our Health and Wealth Expo. And guess what? Our first place winner won money towards his business that he can use towards resources, equipment, supplies. This is why these are the type of rooms you want to be in. Our runner up, she won a 16-week program where she's going to get 8 sessions within that 16 weeks of executive one-on-one coaching. You cannot make this stuff up. People walked away feeling so inspired. One of the attendees, she came for one day, right? She had a 1-day pass and she's walked away wanting to now start an IV hydration business. I had another person who had a 1-day pass and she goes, I'm coming back. She is so funny. She goes, you're talking about AI tomorrow. You're talking about real estate. I work in real estate. She said, you're going to be talking about marketing. She said, I can't miss this. I'm going to have someone pick up my son. I'm going to actually share that video recording with you. It was dynamic. I mean, again, the feedback was just amazing, but I'm going to let you listen to some of the feedback yourself and you tell me what you think.
So Tedesca was here for one day and she's like, I got to come back tomorrow. So tell them why you got to come back tomorrow.
Because there's so much information and I'm in real estate and they're going to talk about AI, real estate, business marketing. So I'm looking forward and I think I'm just going to have to ask someone to pick my son up so I can be here.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole, why are you attending the Health and Wealth Expo?
I'm attending because I'm excited to see all the speakers and learn about all the great things about AI, about marketing, things that can help build my business and with nurse consulting. And I just wanted to meet this lovely lady in person. I attended her virtual health expo and it was amazing. So I'm just excited to be in this room with all these lovely, strong women and learn great things.
Thank you. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Here we are. We're at the meet and greet, guys. So we will see you for the next 2 days. It's going to be amazing. All right.
So, my name is Yolanda, and I am at the Health and Wealth Summit. And can I just tell you how awesome it is? It's only the first day, but such a wealth of information. And what I love is that I am in the midst of African American entrepreneurs that are just sharing the information, right? And so if you want to, you have aspirations to do more and get more and leverage your nursing degree, then this is something that you need to be a part of. And you can find Dr. James on Facebook, right? DL Consulting. Look her up because it's truly amazing and you'll get a wealth of information.
If you have never been here before, this is the place that you need to be for next year. This is such a needed expo that most people don't know about. Like, I didn't know anything about it, but I did look at it on Nurses Network. And I am a person that loves health and wellness, so whenever I can get information, I am always there. So make sure when you look at this next year that you take the time and register, because it's valuable information and we need to be in the room to be able to share this and be able to serve our communities. We can pour into so many other people just by the information that we have received today. So thank you guys, and I can't wait to see you all next year.
Now, those were just a few of some of the guests who were inspired by the Health and Wealth Expo. I mean, we also had Amanda Jackson talking about HR, human resources, and what you need to know. People look at human resources as the principal's office, and it's really not. When you're thinking about and considering starting a business, you need to have those relationships. You need to be able to consult with someone in human resources. One of my NASDAQ mentees, she's also a human resource expert. And this is what you need to have human resources on your side, whether when it comes to hiring, when it comes to handbooks, when it comes to your policies and procedures. You want to have a human resource consultant. You want to be able to have these relationships and know who your go-to people are. And when I talk about the connections, I've received so many just feedback, phone calls, text messages, social media tags on how people are just so inspired just from the networking alone. People have met people. One of my MRBNA members, she's like, I've gotten 2 clients just from attending. She said, I've met so many people. She's like, I can't believe your network. Listen, your network is your net worth. And this is why you want to be in the right rooms. And this is why you invest in yourself. Now, so for people who are on the fence about spending money to make money, listen, sometimes you have to do it. Everything can't be free, right? Everything can't be free. I mean, there are a lot of free resources out there. And one thing I do want you guys to keep in mind, you cannot Google and YouTube University your way through everything. Unfortunately, you just can't. There are some master classes out there. There are some resources out there. The best thing you can do for yourself is invest in yourself. And if that means time, if that means money, then so be it. Because guess what? You want to collapse time. Don't be in the same place you are now 2 years from now because you're still trying to figure it all out on your own. And one of the things that I learned, and I've shared this before, me obtaining a coach was probably the best things I ever did, because starting my IV hydration business, I knew I wanted to start the business, but I wasn't really sure how to start the business, and trying to go through every masterclass and trying to YouTube it and at the time when I started, there wasn't a whole lot of information out there. There was information. There wasn't as much information as there is now. And I say this to say, you want to make sure that you are investing in yourself properly, because why waste time? Now is the time with everything that you see going on between hospital layoffs, between the corruption in the administration. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's corruption. I mean, if the writing's on the wall, and listen, you do not have to agree with me. And this is my opinion. In my opinion, there's so much corruption going on right now that this is your time to choose you, and this is your time to invest in you. And so if you have a skill that you can monetize, that's what you want to do. And I'm going to give you some steps on how you can do just that, monetize your expertise. I want to give you 3 essential steps that you need to start a consulting business. And the first thing you want to do is you want to define your niche, right? So what is your niche? And what does that mean? Who do you serve, right? Who is your target audience? And how do you help them? Right? So who do you serve? How do you help them? And in what way? So like for me, I empower high achieving nurses to break through from burnout and achieve financial independence. And I do that through courses, mentorship, and events, right? Events like the Health and Wealth Expo. That's my niche, right? What is your niche? So you want to clarify that. You want to clarify, who are you helping? Are you helping nurse leaders? Are you helping with IV hydration, healthcare organizations, healthcare compliance? What is your niche? So you have to first identify that. And once you identify that, you have to position yourself as the solution. You are the solution. You're positioning yourself as the solution and not just the service provider. So once you identify your niche, position yourself as the solution and not just a service provider. The second thing you want to do, now I know I want to do IV hydration because a few of you walked away wanting to do IV hydration, which is great. So now I know I want to do IV hydration. So what am I going to do? I'm going to set up the foundation of my business, right? And that means your EIN, your LLC, your business bank account, your agreements, getting your agreements in place. You may or may not need a website right away if you have access to create a landing page, but that's not necessary right away. Now, for an IV hydration business, you do want to have a website. You do want to have a website. Again, it could start with it being a landing page just to get you started. But to get started consulting, you don't necessarily need a website. But your foundation, you do need your LLC. You do need your EIN. You do need to have a business bank account. You do want to start having those things in place. You want to have a professional email. You don't want to be sending professional information through a Gmail account. You want to have a professional email. And the third thing that you want to do is you want to start getting visible. You want to start getting visible and you want to start selling. And what I mean by getting visible means getting on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a powerful platform. Getting on Instagram, getting on TikTok, wherever your audience lives, that's where you're going to be. If your audience is on LinkedIn, then you want to live on LinkedIn. If your audience is on Instagram, you want to live on Instagram. So you want to go where you believe your target audience is. And sometimes some of that may be trial and error because you may think your audience is one place, but they're actually on another platform. So you have to find out where that platform is. But initially, you may want to choose maybe two platforms, 2 to 3 platforms where you want to be visible and really see, okay, this is where I really need to focus on, because visibility is how people are going to know you exist. So for those of you who are saying like, oh, I don't like social media, I need you to get over it. Like, I need you. And I mean that in the most loving way. I need you to get over it, because this is how people need to know that you're in business. And the only way they're going to know that you're in business if you make yourself visible. Word of mouth is great. Don't get me wrong. Word of mouth is wonderful. You want people to know that you exist, and you got to start networking. You got to start networking. And this is actually really a bonus one, right? Because you got to start networking. People have to know that you're around. People have to know that you exist. People have to know who you are, and how you do that is by getting in rooms like the Health and Wealth Expo so that you can network. Again, your network is your net worth. And that's how people are going to start to know and build genuine relationships, right? Yes, you're going there to meet people, but be genuine. Be yourself, be who you are, build genuine relationships, because those are the connections that stay, the ones that are genuine, when you know that you can call on that person and that person will be there to help to build genuine relationships. It's so important to do that, because people, they know, like, and trust authenticity, and people can see through when the authenticity is not there. That's what I want to leave you with today. I actually have an ebook on how to start a healthcare consulting business, and I'll make sure I put it in the show notes, the link into the show notes. And I'm starting a Nurse Legacy Accelerator program. I actually offered my Nurse Legacy program to those who attended the Health and Wealth Expo Live Summit. I can only take about 5 mentees into the program right now. This is for you if you are ready to launch and scale your business. This is for you if you are serious about not being where you are now a year from now. This is for you if you are serious about showing up. This is not for you if you have excuses as to why you are not able to invest in yourself. Investing in yourself, again, that's time, right? Investing in yourself is networking. Investing in yourself is showing up and being in the right place at the right time. Investing in yourself is huge. It really, really, really is. You want to be a part of the solution and not the problem. And again, it takes investing in yourself. Be willing to ask for help and seek the guidance that you need. And understand that everything is not necessarily free. The things that I've paid for are the things that I have really, really, really have treasured. And when it comes to my mentorship, the mentorship that I have paid for is probably the best. Don't get me wrong, though. There's great programs out there that are free. But the programs that I have paid for, it was well worth the money, and which is why I continue to invest in myself. And it continues to help me it's like stair steps, right? With the business, it continues to help me really climb that ladder that I so desperately wanted to climb, and I've gotten there through mentorship. For me, I just love being able to pay it forward and be able to give back. And that's what I'm doing with my Nurse Legacy Accelerator program. And it's really about investing in you, investing in your time for 6 months, being able to start your business, launch your business, scale your business. And that's what we're going to do. You can schedule a free strategy call and we'll talk all about it. I'll leave the link for that in the show notes as well. Again, thank you to everyone, the speakers, the vendors, the attendees, everyone who made the Health and Wealth Expo such an amazing experience. People are like, when are you having the next one? When are you having the next one? Like, I'm still taking it all in from this one. So, but definitely stay tuned. You can log on to healthandwealthexpolive.com. You can join our mailing list so that you can be the first to know when we start to strategize for the next Health and Wealth Expo Live Summit. So that is it for today, guys. Until next time, make sure that you stay inspired, stay educated, and stay empowered.